Hi guys, it's Vesna here. For today's video, I am participating in another challenge. It is a trash to treasure using recyclables, hosted this time by the lovely Casey from Coffee with My Sunshine. Now, if you have not checked out Casey's page, please be sure to check it out. She's got some wonderful DIYs and trash to treasure videos. She's really, really creative, so you can get tons of inspirations from there. The rules for the challenge were that we had to use trash or something that would throw in the trash or recycling and create it into a treasure. So for my trash to treasure, I did two treasures. The first one was a recycled plastic bottle that I used to create a bird feeder. This was a fun craft that I did with my son. And the second one is a nice farmhouse style vase from a jar. So stay tuned and you can see how I did these and what they turned out, how they turned out. So I have this water bottle, it's a 1.5 liter water bottle that I saved. I didn't recycle. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the tag off, take it all off, and then I'm going to cut the bottle in half. Well, not really in half, in like three pieces. So I'm going to cut the top part off, and then I'm going to cut some of the bottom off, and then like I'll trim the bottom part so it's a little bit smaller. So I'm just using regular scissors to do this. Just be careful because the plastic does get sharp. Um, so it's a little bit easier once you've got it cut to be able to cut the rest of it off. So as you can see, I didn't really measure. I just kind of eyeballed it. You can cut as much or as little as you want, depending on how big you want the bird feeder to be. I wanted it to be kind of like mid-sized to smaller, so I cut quite a bit off. But again, the choice is yours. There isn't really a set way to do this. So I tried to make it as even as possible. And I'm just going to use a little bit of sandpaper just to sand down some of the sharp edges because, like I said, I will be doing this with my little guy, so he's going to be painting them, so I don't want him cutting himself. Also, you don't want to cut yourself either, so I didn't want to cut myself. So sanded it down a little bit once I got it to the size I wanted. The top part of the water bottle, I cut into kind of like V shape, so I just kind of went down and I cut in, and then I did a V, and then I did another line, and then I did a V. So you kind of cut triangles out. Just to give it a little bit of a shape, and so when you go to put it on top of the bottle, it looks a little bit like on top of the bottom part, it looks a little bit nicer. So once I've got the bottle fitted and cut out at the top the way I wanted with the little triangles cut out, I'm just marking off here where I want the little opening to be for the birds to be able to come in and get their food. So I just drew a line just kind of so I could follow it, but it's not, like I said, none of this is a hard and set rule. Again, be careful when you're cutting this. The plastic is a little bit harder to cut, so I just kind of did it that way, this way, just to make a hole. And then once I have the hole in there, then I can just go ahead and cut out the little opening. And the way, I'm sorry I didn't show it here, the way I drew the line was just a nice little, like a nice U, open, not little, big U. And then I just cut around it. Doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to be painting this. Well, I painted this anyway, so even if some of the black is showing, it's okay. It'll be covered by the paint. So we go ahead and choose our paint colors. We had some chalk paint left over from Michael's. I'll post the make in the description box. I forgot to show you in the picture, and I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. So we're choosing green and light purple. So the top part will be green and the bottom part will be light purple. It's I like using chalk paint because it's easy to work with, so that's what we're using, and we'll have to apply 2 coats of this. So after putting 2 coats on of the paint, here's the finished product. I'm sorry I didn't record showing how I put it together, but basically all I did was I put the top part of the bottle into the bottom part. We added a few decor pieces, just a few dots of purple onto the green part, and I did wind up just using some hot glue just to tape it down so it doesn't fall out once I put the seeds in. But here it is with the seeds, and I think it turned out cute. So the next project that I'm doing, or treasure that I'm doing, is the jar of pickles from Costco. So it's just a nice big jar with a lid. I'm not going to be using the lid, but you could if you wanted to use it as a storage container. I'll be using my Valspar interior paint because that's what I have left over. Normally I would paint this with chalk paint, but I don't have any white chalk paint left. And I've just got a brush that I got at Home Depot. It's a natural Bristol brush. So what I'll do is actually I'll put 2 coats of paint on this because the first coat I just do it lightly just so the second coat has something to hold on to stick to. So I just go over it making sure that everything is covered, and then I do it one more time. Even though it doesn't have to be perfect, I still don't want the glass to be showing. So now I'm going to go ahead and just distress the bottle. I've added another coat of white just to cover the spots that I didn't think got covered enough. I am using Annie Sloan Cocoa chalk paint to do a little bit of the distressing, and then I will also add a little bit of the Rust-Oleum chalked paint in charcoal. So here's the final product. I think it turned out really nice. I like the flowers that I put in there, the nice peonies. I did add a little strip of burlap around. I just hot glued it. I just thought it gave it an extra touch. Sorry I didn't record myself doing that. Again, I'm not sure why. So if you liked this video, make sure you hit the notification bell and subscribe to my channel. Also, make sure you check out Casey's channel at Coffee with My Sunshine, as well as everyone else in this playlist. There's going to be some awesome ideas that you can get lots of inspirations from. How to use some of your treasure items within your home so you don't have to leave if you're unable to leave. Thank you and have an excellent day and stay safe.